Hi, my beautiful Cancers. How are you? It's Nick and dramatic Null in the back as if she just finished a 9 to 5, working really hard, supervising our readings. I hope you guys are doing good. This is your last weekly for the last week of March, so the 29th till April 4th. We're going to be covering a little bit of health, finances, work, school, career, and love. So I hope you will find these helpful some way, shape, or form. I will have the link to the extended reading below in the description box. So if you find that's resonating and want to continue, that will be below for you guys to check out after you're done watching. And of course, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, it's Nicloves with 2 eyes. All right, Cancers. So let's just get right into it, guys. Cancers, I feel like this week there's something about birds. Maybe you connect with birds, maybe you're going to be seeing a lot of birds this week, and it could be different types of birds, but I feel like there's something like a connection with birds this week that is calling you to pay attention. Maybe it's just a reminder for you to trust in your magic, that you can fly high, that you can make all your dreams and wishes come true, to listen, to look at the bright side of things, look up. Start looking up a little bit more instead of looking down, and maybe you'll have a different perspective. I'm seeing that the number 66, if not also the number 12 and 3, may be important numbers for you guys this week, so something to keep in mind. I feel like when it comes to your health, the first image that came through for me was like someone throwing up their hands or like throwing a bunch of papers or just like, like frustrated. So I feel like there's gonna be like either a lot of you being kind of extra moody, a little bit snappy, maybe a little grumpy, or just like, everything's going wrong. My hair is a mess. I feel bloated today. Starbucks messed up my order. Like, I just see you being kind of like irritated, kind of on edge. And I don't think it's like for one specific reason. I think it's just like maybe your body, your hormones, or just like something, I don't know, something in the air. It could be like any little thing people do, I feel like will irritate you in some way. You're like, well, Nick, I'm kind of like this all the time. I hope not. But I feel like there's something in your spirit where you're feeling frustrated. You feel like everything's going wrong, or you're not happy with yourself. Maybe you're like, I wish I could fix this. I wish my fingers weren't like this. I wish my arms weren't like this. Or like, you may be like really critical of yourself. I think a lot of it's like more mental, but you're like picking at yourself a lot. So stop doing that, Cancer. Stop looking at all the bad things and look at all the good things you have, because you probably see, if you compared yourself, that your problems maybe are not really as big as you think compared to a lot of other things that maybe are going on in the world. I'm not saying that your problems are not important, but sometimes we make things bigger than really it has to be, and we stress our own selves out, and then we take it out on everyone else, and we take it out on ourselves. So I feel like with your health, it's more about like you talking well to yourself, taking care of your mental health, watching your moods. Like maybe there's something you're doing that is causing you to feel more irritated. Maybe you need to drink more water. Maybe you need to take a few more breathers. Maybe you need to wake up a little bit earlier to kind of slow things down and not always feel in a rush. Have a little bit like 5 minutes of meditation. Go for a little walk in the morning. There's like little things that maybe you can add to your routine to kind of slow things down, so you're not like on the go or like really irritated, and I think that's part of self-care. Also just your confidence, working on your confidence. Obviously it's not something that we can just like wake up and like, oh my God, I'm confident. It's not like that, but kind of like working at it every day, telling yourself, practicing your affirmations. Guys, I'm a big believer in practicing positive affirmations. It's something that's helped change my life, and I feel like if you just put yourself into a habit of doing it every single day, you'll start to see really good changes, because you're training your brain to believe these things, and you are what you believe, but you become what you think about most. So if your brain starts to think about this a lot, you literally become it. Okay, it's not just woo-woo, it's real. When it comes to your work, school, career, and finances, I see there's a lot of indecision, and there can even be a lot of procrastination this week. And I think this procrastination is coming up because of your not knowing where you should pay attention to or what you should focus on. I feel like there's things like, okay, I need to do this, but I really want to do this. It's like, I know I should do this, but I don't really feel like doing that. I want to do this. And so because you're kind of stuck in the middle, you're like, well, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to save it for another time. And so that kind of builds up, it's like, and for another day, and the next week, the next month, and next year. So you want to make sure you're not procrastinating. Be focused, make your decisions. Don't leave things for the next day. Do what you can do today. Don't save it for tomorrow. But I do see there's a lot of indecision. Maybe, you're having to pick between two different jobs. Maybe, you have several meetings or calls. You're like, I don't know which one I should put preference, my priorities. So I feel like this week you need to organize. You need to really be practical, and kind of get out of your head and just put things into action. Like you in your head, in your mind, you might think that your list of to-dos are so long, but once you actually write them down and start doing it, you're like, oh, okay, you know what? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It was a lot bigger. It was a lot longer in my head, but once you actually do it and time goes by, you'll see maybe it's not that terrible. Okay. All right. So when it comes to your love, relationships, and dating, some of you could have Aries and or Taurus somewhere in your chart. And as far as a person you could be dealing with, it could be a Pisces, maybe an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But not really getting specific signs, maybe a little bit more Pisces than usual, but could be any sign, like I always say to you guys, so don't ever get too fixed on that. It could just be the energies. And your persons or person of interest, first, middle, last name could start with the B as in boy or J as in John. I feel here that someone is trying, I think maybe you, but could be the other person. Of course, things can always be vice versa. Someone is trying really hard not to care about the situation or care about someone, when deep down inside, they actually really do care a lot. And I feel like that's really, really hard to do. It's like the more you try not to, the more it's like a reminder, because it's like right there. The feeling is there. You just can't run away from it. And I think you have a really caring, compassionate heart. I think you're dealing with someone, whether this is someone new or someone you've been talking to or someone you will be encountering. I think this is someone you already know. You really care about each other. I think you've grown to have a lot of love for this person. I feel like you're a kind of all in or not kind of person. Like you either give your whole heart to a situation, to a person, or you just don't at all. And so when you do, you kind of expect the same in return. And when things go wrong, it really does hurt you. And I think in this moment, I feel like your ego and your pride has been really hurt for whatever reason. And it's like you're trying to be really tough. You're trying to show like, whatever, I don't care, I'm not fazed, whatever. But you're also tired of being like the bigger person, I think. And you may have been dealing with a lot. You may have kind of tolerated a lot up to this point. And I think there could be a father figure, grandfather, a man, a male figure, a boss, a mentor, someone in your life that really inspires you or has taught you, hey, Cancer, always be tough. Don't let anyone walk all over you. Don't let anyone do A, B, C to you. Like, I think they've implemented a lot of good like learning lessons, life experience, things that they've learned onto you possibly, or things you've seen or read or whatever. And you kind of live by those codes. And I feel like you've been trying your best to stay like really strong and not let things affect you. But I feel like you're kind of angry. I feel like there's like irritation or just feeling upset, feeling like it's more like your ego, your pride has been kind of like attacked. But I feel here that you're recovering, like you're no longer afraid to be alone. You're no longer afraid of being lonely. You're like, I can do bad by myself. I'd rather be alone and be at peace than be with someone and be miserable. And I feel like you're recovering a lot from a loss. You could also be recovering from financial loss as well, but I feel like you're getting better. You're starting to like fill in the holes in your life and not feel like you need to be with someone just to be happy. I also feel like you're steering away from like traditional roles or traditional way of thinking, living, religion. Maybe you're kind of like changing things. You're trying to be more open-minded. Maybe your idea about marriage or long-term commitments or kids has kind of changed a little bit. And you want to do things your own way. Maybe you've been taught to live in a certain way. You're like, you know what? I don't know if that resonates with me. I want to do things my way. I don't know if that's the path for me. I want to live differently. And maybe now you're just kind of changing not changing your like morals, your character, but molding your life in a way that's more suited for your happiness, instead of living your life to make your parents happy, your family, your friends happy, society, whatever. You're like, no, I want to do things my way, and this is what makes me happy. And so I feel like you're kind of like regaining your power, your strength during this season. And for some people, they may not like that. Some people may get intimidated by that. Some people see you grow into your truest potential, and it kind of freaks them out and scares them away. I feel here you could be connecting with someone who before used to try really hard, used to call you, show up, make plan dates, spend time or whatever, reach out to you, but now it's like they don't try anymore. They don't invest in you. They don't look for you. They don't call you. They don't text you. They don't plan dates. They don't compliment you. I feel like they don't show up for you pretty much. And they just kind of like stopped. Maybe this person is not even working anymore, or has kind of lost motivation, and that kind of just like turns you off as well. I also feel like this person's like wanting to grow and expand, but without putting in the work in it. It's like they want a lot from you and they want the benefits of having you in their life, but they themselves don't want to work for it. It's like, what? It's like trying to go into a store and buy things without paying for it. It's like, hello, that's called stealing. No, it has to be an equal give and take. So it's like they're trying to have your love and have their cake and eat it and everything without them having to do any work. So it's like that does not make sense. You would have to be a dummy to put up with that. And I feel like at the same time, they like don't show their emotions. They don't express it to you, or they're not being really open and vulnerable. They kind of have it like, they kind of hide it a little bit. Maybe they've been more secretive, or they've been kind of really reserved, or not really been sharing things with you lately, and that has been bothering you. I feel like they have been kind of just sitting back observing, and they are intuitive. Like they can pick up on you. They know when you're upset. They know when something's wrong. And I think that's what irritates you even more, because they know better. They know you, and they know when something is off, but they don't do anything about it. And I feel like this person maybe also could be really prideful. And because of that, does not want to step up to the plate or give you the satisfaction possibly. I kind of feel a little bit of pettiness here, to be honest, a little bit of pettiness. And I think you're trying really hard to be the bigger person, but at the same time, I feel like you're fed up with always being the bigger person. You're like, I just want to like tell this person off, but I know the best revenge is me just being my best self, living my life, being happy, elevating my spirit, and I want them to see me shine. I want them to see me grow. I want them to see me successful and happy with or without them. And I feel like that's what's motivating you. That's what's giving you fuel, giving you fire to know that, I don't need to tell you A, B, C, D, scream at you anything. I just want you to watch me live my life and excel and be better than ever before, and you knowing that you messed up and you missed out on a good opportunity. And I feel like that's what's like kind of motivating you. But we're gonna dive in deeper in the extended to get more information, to see where their energy's at, what are they thinking, what are they feeling when it comes to you, what they don't want you to know that maybe you should know, and what their next action move will be towards you, and then also your advice. I feel here also that this person may have been someone who helped you earlier on with something, and they feel like you owe it to them, or you owe them something possibly. And maybe for some time you kind of felt like, okay, like, they did help me with this, so I should stay or I should do that. But I think by now you kind of realize, no, I've paid my dues. I don't need to I'm overpaying at this point. Okay, so we'll dive in deeper in the extended. We'll continue, see what's going on, what more comes out, and hopefully we'll get more clarity for you. Okay, all right, so Cancers, I wish you guys all the best. Thank you so much for being here. The link to the extended will be below. Say bye to Nala, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Wishing you all the best. Bye.